The special episode left many of us fans very impressed and wanting to see more of this story. Possibly this was the same excitement we felt when we saw the 1995 movie, and up to this point there was no major Power Rangers production that we could fairly compare to that movie. As you all know, throughout the history of the franchise we have had 3 films, which were the 1995 film, Turbo, and the latest 2017 film. Among these 3 movies, the only ones we can evaluate to make a fair comparison are the 1995 and the 2017 movie, since the Turbo movie is more like an extension of the series. In this channel we already made a comparison between the 1995 and 2017 movies. I think it is not difficult to deduce that the 95 one has won the battle. This is why today we are going to make a comparison between the 95 movie and the special episode. I must start by saying that it is very difficult to make a comparison between these 2 productions as they are very different. The special episode is not classified as a movie since it lasts less than an hour. Despite this, the important thing is not the category of the name. It doesn't matter if it is a movie or an episode. The important thing is the difference in time between the 2 productions. When you are going to tell a story, it is easier when you have more time because you can provide more details or simply deliver more action to the audience. The 95 movie is 1 hour and 35 minutes long. The special episode is 55 minutes long. There is a 40-minute difference between the 2 productions, basically about the same length as the special episode. Imagine all you can add in those 40 minutes. Obviously, the initial vision of the production was not to make a movie, it was always to make an episode that had the duration of 2 regular episodes. Despite this, the whole production was almost at the level of a movie, and I say almost because usually movies have a higher budget. This helps to create bigger sets, more refined special effects, and helps to improve the overall quality of the production. We can see this in the 2017 movie, that even though they made the mistake of changing everything, we can't deny that the production quality was excellent. The special effects in this movie were very good and the CGI was the best thing it possibly had. Despite this, with this movie we can realize that the budget is not the most important thing, and this is why we can make a good comparison between the 95 movie and the special episode. Even the special effects of the 95 film were not very good because there was not much budget, and at that time computer effects were just starting. Even so, this movie is one of the best productions in the history of the franchise. This is why we can use the special episode to make the comparison, because despite having a low budget and a short duration, even so, its story and elements used were excellent. The special episode used nostalgia as the heart of the production, as this was how they were able to reach all the fans who had forgotten the franchise. This is why this episode used no new villains and the only new character is Min. Everything else in this special episode is stuff we already know and reminds us of everything we had already experienced many years ago. We have the first female villain of the franchise, and we have the first Rangers, including those from the second and third seasons. We also have a command center, and even though it's new, it represents the same thing that the same old command center meant. We have the same moon palace, and everything happens in the same city we already knew, including the same juice bar. These are all important points to mention, as this was the most powerful thing about the special episode because it makes us travel back in time. This is a very powerful tool that the 95 movie couldn't have, since the franchise was only 2 years old, so they couldn't apply the nostalgia technique. This is a clash between the old and the new. The 95 movie couldn't use nostalgia, but they used the creation of new elements mixed with the essence of the franchise. They basically included new characters and mixed them with characters we already knew so that we still feel like we are watching Power Rangers. I mention this because even though this movie is not part of the canon, they still used the original actors from the series. This is something they didn't do in the 2017 movie. They even changed the story to the characters we already knew. This is why many find it hard to understand why this '95 movie is not canon, since it basically has all the real essence of Power Rangers, including the original actors. Despite this, the addition of new characters could have been a downside because, if those new characters had been terrible, then the movie would have been a failure because those new characters were so important to the story. We have the main villain of the movie, which was a new character and basically was the one that helped make this movie historical. This is something that might have been difficult for the special episode since his new character is Min and she's not a main character entirely. Part of the story revolves around her, but still the main characters were Billy and Zach. This was so since the most important thing about this special episode was not the story of this new character, the most important thing was all the nostalgia. That is why, if Min's character had not been very good, this was not going to have much impact on the final emotion that the fans were going to feel for the episode. Even, the production did not want to include the Power Blaster, and this has been one of the biggest controversies after the premiere of the episode. Very few people have been talking about the good or bad things about Min, but everyone has been talking about the absence of this old weapon. This whole battle between creation and nostalgia was also seen in the costumes. In the '95 movie we had new costumes that, despite being new, didn't stray from the essence of the series. In the special episode they didn't give us new costumes, they were even so committed to fill us with nostalgia that they didn't change the Morphin and they didn't change characters that were always terrible like the Putty Patrollers. I can understand that they wanted to give us a lot of nostalgia, but some things could have been improved and this would have had a positive impact on the fans. Despite everything we have mentioned, both productions are excellent in their stories, in achieving their final goal and in leaving a path for possible future productions. Tell me in the comments which of these two productions you liked the most. If you would like a new movie like this video and subscribe for more Power Rangers productions.